Have you ever been asked to leave behind everything familiar and step out into the unknown, trusting only God's promise? In Genesis 12:14, we meet Abram, a man called to embark on a journey of faith, uncertainty, and astonishing blessing. Today, let's discover how his story can transform the way we respond to God's call in our own lives. Imagine being Abram, hearing God's call, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." God doesn't give a map, just a promise. Sometimes, God asks us to step out with only His word as our guide. Are we willing to let go and trust Him, no matter how uncertain our path may seem? Abram obeyed, a journey begun not in certainty, but in confidence that God is faithful. Even when famine struck and the promise seemed far away, Abram pressed on. There will be seasons in our walk with God when the road appears barren. Will we persist in faith, trusting that God's word is truer than our circumstances? Through every step, Abram built altars, pausing to worship, to remember, to anchor his heart in God's promises. What altars are we building today? How are we pausing amidst life's journey to recognize God's presence and surrender anew to His leading? Even when we step out in faith, challenges arise. Abram's journey reminds us that faith doesn't mean trouble-free roads, but it does mean God journeys with us, shaping our hearts through every trial. Abram's journey wasn't perfect. In fear, he went down to Egypt and deceived Pharaoh, trying to protect himself. Have you ever tried to take control when fear crept in, doubting God's protection? Even those with heroic faith stumble. Yet God's response is striking. He intervenes, preserving Abram and restoring him. Our missteps do not cancel God's promises. His grace meets us, even in our failures, offering new beginnings. Are we ready to receive that grace and let God rewrite our story? When Abram and Lot's herdsmen quarreled, Abram chose peace and generosity, trusting God to provide. Sometimes, letting go of pride, of our rights, requires deep faith. Where might God be calling you to choose peace and trust His provision today? Abram's story reveals that faith is a journey, one of stumbling, surrender, and stunning grace. But with every step, God transforms us, preparing us for even greater things ahead. God's promise to Abram was both personal and far-reaching. "I will bless you, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." Our faith isn't just for us, it's meant to overflow, impacting others. How are we allowing God's blessings in our lives to touch those around us? When Lot was taken captive, Abram risked everything to rescue his nephew, showing sacrificial love and courage. Our calling as God's people is to step in when others are in need, to act with boldness, compassion, and unselfish love, just as Christ did for us. After victory, Abram refused the king of Sodom's riches, seeking only God's approval. He met Melchizedek, priest of God Most High, and gave thanks. True blessing comes not from worldly gain, but from our relationship with God. What are we seeking most? Treasures on earth, or the joy of walking with Him? As we walk in Abram's footsteps, may we answer God's call with courage, receive His grace in our failures, and become channels of blessing to the world around us. Take a moment this week to reflect. Where is God calling you to deeper faith? Share your journey in the comments, subscribe for more biblical encouragement, and choose today to walk forward, trusting the God who keeps every promise.